So, for personal story time, Daddy, tell me a story about why nerdy dads are secretly the best kinds of heroes. This kind of goes along with what you were just talking about, actually.
It does. Although, and again, pulling back the curtain, I knew that this was possibly, sort of one of the things and that we'd be talking about. And I really do think that it's because nerdy dads are probably, and I don't mean to pigeonhole. I don't imagine there's a lot of non-nerdy dads that are going to be watching or listening to this. But hey, if you're there, maybe you're good at this too. But nerdy dads are good at wonder, I think, and really understand the value of wonder. And I think that way too many of us, as we age, because of the things that happen, lose that sense of wonder. And that is a shame. That is a shame, because
Yep.
it not only just impacts your happiness, it's going to impact your creativity, it's going to impact your sense of what's possible. It's the dreamers that create these things that 10 years ago we would have thought were magic, but to the dreamers, they're the ones who can make these sort of things a reality. And so, I mean, for me, I don't know if I even have one single remarkable story, but I hope that it's a lot of stories about my son telling me that he's the Dragon King. Like he did the other day, like kind of out of nowhere. He's like, I'm the Dragon King. I'm like, okay, great. And we rolled with it. I've heard people compare being a parent to like being an improv comic, that you always have to yes and pretty much whatever your kids throw at you. And I do think that nerdy dads are particularly equipped to do that with a child's imagination, just that because I think that one of the things that often makes us nerdy is that we have held on to that sense of wonder. And I'm pigeonholing a little bit. You can be a nerd and not into sci-fi and not into fantasy and that sort of thing, certainly.
Yeah.
But I do believe a lot of us are. And I think that it's because a lot of us want to believe that there's still some of that magic left in the world, like children believe, And so I don't know, that may not be the kind of answer that you were going for. You might, well, Joseph, let me tell you about a time that my kid did a thing and then I did a thing. And wasn't that hilarious? I don't have a great one for that, but I do think that that's my answer to the question is why I think that nerdy dads can be heroes is because, I think that we can fan those flames of helping them believe that like anything is possible,
Yep.
So yeah, that's my answer there.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. Fan that imagination, fan the pride in themselves, the
Yeah,
confidence to
absolutely.
take on the world. Um, yeah. Yeah. When I think about my kids, um, one of the things, and some may say this turns me into a villain rather than a hero, but
Hmm.
one of the things that we talked about, Charles and I talked about last week, is when you're playing video games with your kids, not
Mhm.
letting them win, making them earn that win, because there is that level of growth that comes
Yeah.
from making them earn it, from making
Yes.
them um, grow and strive to improve, and
Yeah.
instilling that desire to get better will help. I mean, it'll help in the video game, but it'll help in their life in general. um,
Yes.
that desire to not just live in the status quo, to
Right.
succeed and excel. And so
Right.
while at times my kids may see me as the villain, especially if I'm trash talking them as I'm beating them, but that when they get older, I hope that that perception will change and they will appreciate that I never went easy on them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when the trash talking is over and whatnot, I can talk to them about, hey, you did really good at this
Right.
part, or this is
Right.
what you can improve on,
Yeah.
and helping them to learn and grow is all part of living life. And so in that respect, I think nerdy dads excel at being superheroes in their kids' lives.
What game do y'all play? Or
Uh,
games, I
so,
should say.
Last week, I played Smash Brothers a fair bit with them, and
Yeah.
Mario Kart with them.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
got to hit him with that shell right before they hit cross finish line.
Yes. Those are both popular titles in our house too. Yeah, a lot of Mario Kart, a lot of Smash Brothers.
So, but then there's always the games that we play collaboratively as well. You know, we were talking about the Minecraft movie earlier. My kids love Minecraft, and they love showing off the different things that they've built and explaining the story behind why they built it and everything. And so fostering that sense of joy and wonderment
Yes.
on what they have created, it goes a long way towards boosting up a kid's self-esteem.
There's so much.
Even if you don't exactly see what they're trying to build, you just
Right.
listen to how they describe it and go from there.
There is so much that kids can learn from gaming. I mean, there really is, and there's so many different options that, you know, another one, and I would agree with everything that you pointed out. And another one is, so we play, the three of us play, it's like Mario Strikers Battle League or something like that. It's basically, it's kind of like it's like a soccer game, but it's, you know, like you throw shells at each other and you know, like crash into each other. It's, you know, but it's a lot of teamwork in that game. And it's a lot of, especially for the older one, you know, me telling him, look, buddy, we're a team. And if you want us to win, you're going to have to lift your brother up, you know? And that is actually super important for me. I can't think of a better gift that I could give my two sons than for them to be best friends growing up. Because I think about, especially the two of them, they're so different, but they have very complementary strengths. To have a brother that is your best friend and that you can trust. And so for one thing, you're always going to have your best friend around. But then also, you know, your whole life, you will have someone that you could completely and wholly trust with absolutely everything, you know. And I even think about, like, you know, when they're a teenager, right? When they're teenagers, and if one of them gets into some kind of trouble where they don't want to call dad, maybe they'll at least call their brother, right? That's a win. And then even but as they get older, though, I don't know. But I'm trying so hard to forge that connection now of, you guys are a team, build each other up, you know, and games can be such a great way to sort of practice that, you know. So I love all the things that you're sharing, and I think that games can be such a great way to practice those life skills.
Yep. You talked about kids being best friends. Random kid put in the chat, kids fluctuate
that's so
best
good.
friends and arch
So
enemies.
so good. Yeah, but isn't that like most best friends also, though, like often, I mean, a lot of my best friends, we also fluctuated between being best friends and arch enemies. But yeah,
or
that is
rivals.
Totally, that is an astute observation for sure. Yeah.